A long time ago, news traveled very slowly. These days we take for granted all of the modern conveniences that we have, the way we can communicate by phone, by the internet, all the different ways that we can get in touch with one another. News traveled very slowly, and that would cause problems, especially when it came to war. After the treaty was signed to end the War of 1812, a skirmish broke out when the British attacked New Orleans, and fighting ensued, and General Andrew Jackson led his troops to victory in that battle, but not before 300 British and American soldiers were killed, not to mention 1,000 wounded. And it's horrible to think about because the whole thing could have been avoided. They were fighting a war that had already been won, and the treaty had already been signed. And that kind of thing goes on spiritually as well. Karl Barth, the theologian, wrote this. He said, "The war is at an end, even though here and there are troops still shooting because they have not heard anything yet about the capitulation." The war has already been won. Though many have not heard about it, it doesn't change the fact that it's over, and the war has been won by Jesus Christ. In Hebrews chapter 2, verses 14 and 15, the writer says, "Since therefore the children share in flesh and blood, he himself likewise partook of the same things, that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver all those who through fear of death were subject to lifelong slavery." Until the cross, the devil was the master of death. He had the power of death. But all of that changed when Jesus died for you and me. He triumphed over all of the evil forces, according to Colossians chapter 2, verse 15. And in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 10, Paul says, "Christ abolished death and brought life and immortality to light through the gospel." Turn to the book of Revelation and you see battle after battle between the forces of evil and the forces for good, and every time it ends the same way. Shows us a picture of victory in Jesus. And it's described this way in Revelation 17, verse 14. "They will make war on the Lamb, and the Lamb will conquer them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and those with him are called and chosen and faithful." So we're not waiting to see the outcome of this battle. We already know who has won. We, through the light of Christ, know that Jesus won the battle over those who had the power of death, and he promises victory to all who trust in him. We know that secret. We know that good news, and it's our job to share it with the world. And maybe there's some here who are acting as if the battle is still raging on, and that they're still fighting on the wrong side. It's not a matter of who's going to win. It's a matter of whose side you're on. Whose side will you be on when it comes to Judgment Day? If you want to get on the right side, we're going to sing a song of invitation. We're inviting you to come and let us help you in any way that we can right now as we stand and as we sing.